Isn't it amazing to be able to be with you, all of you, on a 66th episode of the Ask Julius Show? Isn't it incredible that we have, been here sticking together for at least 66 shows in which we have asked probably, what, 800 questions, if not more. Isn't it amazing that the energy of the show and the audience has been growing and growing and growing, and we thank that to you. Thank you for being here again. This is Angel Rebo, and this is the number 66th show of the Ask Julius Show. Hi, Kasey, how are you?
Amazing energy. And what's interesting too is we're in the 6th month of the year, right? So interesting. Putting great energy towards those numbers. Sometimes those numbers can be associated with something not so great. We're changing that tonight. We're creating all the sixes to be all about amazement because we have the power to do that. And it's nothing short of joy. It's nothing short of joy. When I remember the phone call when we got together and talked about having this show and giving it a shot and seeing what people think. And it's amazing. It's just amazing. And just such a joy to be here on Thursdays with you.
Absolutely. Likewise. Thank you, Kasey. And obviously we have Julius and his group of entities with us every single Thursday. Well, we have them every single day, but we expose them to our audience every single Thursday. This is Expansion Network. I'm Angel Rebo from the US, Dallas, Texas, North Texas. And we have the temporarily nomad Kasey Jo. that as usual, she has an incredible backdrop which energizes us and help us to live even more heaven on earth. That's what we're doing every single day. Thank you for being here. I can see already people live. Sony Dean, hi, beautiful souls. Hi, Sony, thank you for being here. So on time today. Hi, Kasey, Julius, and Angel, and all the beautiful people. Love and light to you all. Amanda, absolutely, Amanda, thank you for being here. And our wonderful team saying, woo-hoo! Exactly. And also we have here Greg Nyman Jr. saying hi. Thank you for being here. We try to start early some days, and guess what? Even being early, we always have, beings, lovely beings, lovable beings with us all the time. As you know, one of the first things I always do when we start the show is I make myself small just to give, the main character position on the stage to Kasey and Julius and their group of entities. All right, so let's start. As you know, all of you that are right now live here on the chat, you can ask questions. We will be delighted to answer those questions. Turk Thurton saying, greeting you all in the love and light of the infinite creator. Absolutely. Thank you so much. And we are going, while we get, questions live, I'm actually going to go to our list of questions that we receive every single week offline to the email address support@expandingwithjulius.com, support@expandingwithjulius.com. And this question comes from Lori, and the question is, hello, some of us live on a Bitcoin standard. Look at that. Isn't it timely to be accepting some cryptocurrency as payment? Thank you for your consideration. Thank you, Lori.
You know, so what we will say, Master, is actually your whole payment system is changing. It is changing. What some would perceive to be behind the scenes, including what you perceive to be the cryptocurrencies as well as the fiat dollars. All of those things are changing. All of those things are changing. So it's been interesting. It's what's going on in front of you is no short of a spectacular sleight of hand show right in front of your faces. And we really want you to keep that in mind as things continue to shuffle. They are no longer shifting, they are shuffling as far as crazy, crazy, crazy things go. But what we will tell you, Master, is this. What will really be the most amazing thing is when there is no more commodity at all. For when that occurs, there will be true sovereignty across the earth. When you have a conscious, creative, collective energy that is working simultaneously and in collaboration with each other for grandeur and abundance and joy for all, eliminating one of the biggest divisionary components for humanity, which is the commodity system. And we are waiting patiently or impatiently, depending on how you know us to be, for that moment. So, Master, project your thoughts in that direction, because that is when it truly will be extraordinary to be in the third dimensional realm application.
Thank you so much. So let's go to the next question live from Sony Dean. Julius, iPhone officially announced that we'll work with AI. Should we change our phones? What are your thoughts? Thank you.
We would say that right now in AI application, it is not a benefit to you right now. Those that are controlling AI at this time that you're going to be in receivership is not something that you really want to be rushing into. We are projecting that those that control and program AI are going to change, and in which case that energy won't be quite so dangerous, quite so nefarious, and quite so controlling. But currently, right now, there's still too much of a battle going on. And the AI application as of right now is not doing anybody any benefit. And that is a truth, Master.
Excellent. Thank you. People are keep on coming into the show, into the chat. Mary Carmen, hello, hello, hello. Lots of kisses. And then it's the same Mary Carmen. Yes, it is a show. Awesome. And then a question from Greg Nyman Jr. How do you push energy to raising your vibration when perceived yourself to be out of energy?
Great, Master. So here's what's very interesting. It is your limited perception only, for you cannot be out of energy, for you would not exist. For you are pure energy, Master. You are pure energy. So that's the great news in a sense, because you can't run out. But since you are the creator of your experience, your perception does heavily influence what it is you shall do and create and be. So it is going to the broader perspective, Master, always that you are source energy, forcing yourself, if need be, into that perception and dissolving yourself into the sublime essence of that truth. That alone shall restore and rejuvenate and help you to literally feel the truth and the knowing that you are pure source energy in an endless supply. And that is an amazing state of truth.
Excellent. Thank you so much. As you see, there's a lot of chat going on here on this show today. Thank you, everybody, for being so active. It's a pleasure to have you here. By the way, I see that also the link just arrived. Hi, everyone. Hello. Thank you for being here with us. As you also see, by the way, all right, so we have another question here. But before we go to the question, you have seen that today, ahead of time, I'm already, showing a QR code on the upper left corner of the screen. What is it for? For the ones that have been with us for a while, you know that every single week we have a special. And this week we have a special that, as you know, we will talk about it at 1:30. Actually, not 1:30, but 1:30 the beginning of the show, so 30 minutes into the show. And it's actually about this week. It's about a unified consciousness workshop. If you want to know more before we go over the explanation about the workshop, you can already scan the QR code that you see on the screen. You just open your camera, you put your phone, pointing the camera at the screen, at the QR code, and voila, you will have the information. Obviously, we're going to share that later today with you. But meanwhile, I just wanted to tell you that here it is, and you can scan it already. Let's go to the next question from Tark Thornton. I have a bit of a long-winded question. How can I post it? Look at that. And there he goes. Wow, we cannot say that he didn't warn us. No problem, Turk. Whatever it is, YouTube isn't allowing it. Okay, so, maybe it's not. Yeah, Charity Thornton. I don't know. Maybe it's the same person. I guess it is. Although there's a different name. Okay, what is the most important thing we should be doing? That's another question for later. Okay, so Mary Carmen, hold on to that question. Let's go to Charity Thornton question. Okay, so. All right, let's see if I can read it because I have some. Okay. All right, so I'll do my best to read this question. Okay, so hello everyone. I greet you all with the love and light of the infinite creator. I have just finished with the commentary Downfall of the Cabal. I was left speechless. It was horrific, very alarming and eye-opening to say the least. I'm not in judgment, however, because at some level we all play a role in contributing to this knowing or unknowingly. But I must say my heart goes out to these kids. I'm sending them all love and light, and I'm going to do everything in my power to bring this to an end. We that may be, whatever that may be. So I have the understanding that we often pick our traumas, trials, and tribulations before we get here. These are our ways to learn and evolve, no matter how horrific the crimes against us might seem. Have these children picked these challenges before incarnating here? That's a great question. Or is this something that they have not signed up for? Very interesting in getting your feedback on this.
Yeah. So, Master, what we will tell you is this. First of all, it is not our position to disclose to anybody else's soul's plan. We do not invade, nor would we give your soul's plan away to anybody else that was simply curious. Having said that, there is far more collaboration in alignment that you could possibly fathom. There isn't anything that isn't done through awareness. But that's not to be mistaken for something that is consciously awake for an embodied being. Now, what is taking place is revealment. So this blatant, horrific, through your description, experience has been going on for centuries, Master. Centuries through the human experience. And souls are not harmed by any form of an experience that they go through. A soul is not harmed. Thank goodness for that, because it is a truth that in physical conditions and physical programming and physical control and manipulation, extraordinary pain and trauma can be sustained through the body and through the emotional and mental component. And those things can be transferred into wisdom, and those things can be transferred into expansiveness. And that is a truth. And at a soul level, that is what occurs. Having said that, you are those souls, Master. There is only one of us here. And you truly do have to ask yourself, would you want to stand by and simply use the excuse that soul is choosing that experience and not stand up and try to seize up on the harm for an innocent embodied soul? Of course not. So sometimes these things are occurring to give other people the opportunity to demonstrate their true essence of bravery and integrity, and whether they are going to step up and assist rather than continues to stand by in ignorance and ignore for their convenience. There's a lot going on. We would encourage you to always look at every situation from a unified consciousness perspective and act accordingly. Always remember that people would love to say, well, I don't need to step in because that soul is choosing that experience. And we'll say, really? Just remember that that soul is you. And would you desire to be assisted to not be harmed and tortured? That's the consideration. Their revealment is creating a shift, and that is a truth. And what is happening also, Master, through these documentaries is people are coming to find out which corporations are assisting the child trafficking and human sacrificial process, and getting humanity to decide whether or not they're going to continue to finance these corporations. That's a great question. All is well. And yet, Master, all things are to test and to show your wisdom, your integrity, your love, and your compassion for self.
Thank you so much. So thank you for the long question, Turk, no problem. Let's go to the next question that comes from Mary Carmen. What is the most important thing we should be doing now?
Raising your frequency. Easy answer. Raise your frequency, Master. It is the most important thing you can be doing. Raise your frequency. It distributes itself in an inspirational rippling effect for transformational change and awareness and enlightenment and expansion. That's the most important thing you can be doing. It takes a lot of discipline and it takes a lot of work. And Mary, there is no one answer to your question. Everything influences or inspires your vibration. It mostly begins through your thought perception or your level of consciousness. You can go to our website for teachings as to how to move into these disciplines to completely change your focus and begin the process of transforming who you are being in every moment of every opportunity. But it also transfers to everything in your life. We cannot have that discussion in completeness here on this show, but there is more information on our website to assist you, as well as many other practitioners. But to answer your question, everything is vibration.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And let's go to the next question. Again, speaking of your website, feel free to scan this QR code that you see at the top left corner. It's a unified consciousness three-part workshop, 3 different days. We're going to talk about it in a few minutes, 12 minutes to be exact. Meanwhile, we'll keep on answering the questions from our audience. We were almost missing you, Stacy. Stacy is here. Yay! Thank you, Stacy, for being here. We're happy to see you again, always ahead of time as well. Hey, everyone, happy and grateful to be here as usual. And she had already a question. By the way, Charity or Church Thornton will say, that's me, LOL. Absolutely, we know that. So we learned today that Facebook allows longer questions, so thank you. All right, so let's go to Stacy's question. Julius, I just turned 36 years young and have an active lifestyle. Okay, so we know now that Stacy has an active lifestyle, but I've been having pain in my left knee. What is the energy signature needing attention and healing? Again, what is the energy signature needing attention and healing? That's her question. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything in your lower quadrant on your body has everything to do with your foundational support, emotional foundational support system in your life and in your experience. The left side is the feminine side. The right side is the masculine side. So anything that is bothering you in your left hip, knee, or ankle has to do with your foundation in your life, your safety, your security, your empathy, your compassion. That's what we will tell you. So it takes you the opportunity to take a really good look at the feminine energies that influenced you as a child. could be mothers, could be grandmothers, could be aunties, could be sisters, and take a look, a deep dive into whether you had issues of feeling safe and stable as a child. It can also be a representation of carrying too many burdens, too many stresses, and too many worries in relationship to obligations as a child. So that's the energy behind that.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And now we have a question from Hilde B. Hi, Hilde. How are you? Nice to see you, obviously, as every single Thursday. Does an individual soul exist simultaneously in multiple timelines wearing the same bodysuit? That's her question. If yes, is it like quantum particles that exist in multiple places at once?
Yeah. So we will tell you, Master, there are no individual souls. How about if we say that? So your language contradicts each other. Okay. So if you were an individual, you would not be a multiple fractaled particle. Okay. So you are a fractal. You are not singular and separate. That has been a program for you to fall into the program of individuality or being somehow separate from source. So your soul is a fractal, and there's only one.
All right, crystal clear. Thank you so much. Let's go to the next question. Actually, what I'm going to do is, although I'm going to show again all different comments and questions, I'm going to actually pull out the list from offline questions. This question comes from Ailish, and her question is, what is the energetic difference, if any, between natural crystals and lab-grown crystals and gems?
Oh, great question.
Example, sapphire or diamond.
Yeah. Great question, Master. Basically time and pressure, but also this. So crystals have galactic particles involved with them. So when asteroids and comets and different things come from different galaxies or from your universe and they hit your Earth ship, those particles, those ingredients, if you will, mix with the Earth and help to form crystals and stones and gems. So those natural ones have literally intergalactic, interdimensional, and universal energies and ingredients in them, and lab-grown ones don't. That's the main reason. That's the main difference. And so usually people who are looking for crystals and want the wisdom that are held and housed in the crystals, that have consciousness, living consciousness in them, they are the ones that come from the Earth, not the ones that are lab grown. So the ones that are lab grown do not have a consciousness or thought storage ability. So crystals, natural crystals, hold a snapshot from one of our beautiful master students that love to use that term. This is a snapshot of thought and thought possibilities that you can tap into, and it can actually work with you for different things like healing and such, and also to assist you on your conscious journey. And lab-grown ones do not have that. That's what we would say is the primary difference.
All right, thank you so much. Next question from Learn George. Greetings, everyone. Welcome back, Learn. My birthday is at the end of June, and I was wondering if the EBS will be happening in June. Or
EBS.
EBS, exactly. Also, Jared Rand says we are actually in 2057. Can you confirm that, please? Kind regards.
So first of all, we will not divulge when the EBS is happening, Master. We absolutely would not do that, because once we did that, they would change the date for the EBS. It in no way does anybody know that information that is going to be leaking that information to you accurately. Know that. And in no way, due to our responsibility in attachment to that event, would we disclose that information for you. And we would say, you are not in 2024, you are not in 2057, because time is an illusion.
All right, fair enough. Thank you. Next question from Sony. Sony again. I am curious, what can we do to receive more financial resources and money, etc.? I mean, for honest, beautiful beings who want to do good and spread truth and possibilities. Why finances can be often a problem for human beings, and we allowed all of the resources to be gone to the nefarious beings, corporations, etc. What keep us blindsided?
So awareness, master, awareness of where you're putting your money and making clear choices about that. But also it's a vibration. We are telling you, master, everything's a vibration. Everything is a vibration. Whether you want to experience that as a truth or not, it's the truth as it is known. When you raise your vibration, everything in your life will raise and shift and change. That is the truth. If you are experiencing lack or limitation in any area of your life, it's a vibrational issue. And we know that that can be frustrating, but it's the truth. Okay. So when you focus on your vibration, everything thrives. Everything thrives, but you get distracted. You get blindsided. You get distracted with everything else that's going on. But this is what we will tell you for sure. You are not limited in finances here on the Earthship in the third dimensional realm. That's been a big lie. And you've been programmed to think that there's only so much money and there isn't enough to go around, which is supportive programming that keeps you thinking there's a limited possibility for you. So strip those programs of limitation and lack also away, master. Open up the echelon fields of receivership, possibility, love, and light, and high vibration, and things shall flow to you and into appropriateness to the high vibrational application. And that is a truth.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Let's go to the next question from Hilda B. again. Does the reincarnation process apply for dimensions and realms higher than the third dimension? If yes, which ones among the 11 dimensions on Earth?
So, master, dimensions do not equal levels of consciousness. That is an illusion. The third dimension has the opportunity to raise from the first level of consciousness to the sixth level of consciousness, and so do all the other dimensions. Dimension is a density frequency for holding matter together. That is not a guarantee of levels of consciousness. It has been a fabricated misinformation train that says fifth dimension is higher in consciousness than the third dimension. It is not. It has a variation of consciousness beings in it, just like the third dimension does. Reincarnation is a byproduct of a low consciousness state. Once you reach a fifth level of consciousness, then you have the option to change your physical body back into light and no longer will experience a reincarnative existence. But that doesn't have anything to do with the dimension that you're choosing. It has everything to do with the level of consciousness that you are being within any of those dimensions. So to answer your question, yes, reincarnation takes place in all the other dimensions, but it's based on the level of consciousness of that being as to whether it is reincarnating itself or not. Because we will tell you that there are beings here in the third dimension that no longer reincarnate, but instead are able to shift their vibration, go back and forth into their light essence, and never have to go through amnesia ever again.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Hilda. Again, Stacy Savage saying, sorry, my question is personal. That was the knee question. Not as juicy. Let me tell you something. First of all the questions are juicy. Second, how many people in the audience have resonated with the explanation that Julius gave about having, some part of your lower body injured? So actually, I remember a story. Actually, it was a personal story when you were asking the question, and Julius was responding. So there's no such thing as juicy. No worries, says Stacy. It's always a pleasure, and every single question counts because with that question, anybody receives a message or resonates with the response. It was worth it, Stacy. It was worth it. Okay, so next question is gonna be Again, from Charity Thornton. I used to play basketball both in college and professional. I am really curious to know about the death of Kobe Bryant. Um, Wondering, was it staged?
If you are asking us if Kobe Bryant is alive or not, we will tell you he is alive. That's what we can tell you.
All right. Yes, actually, this question has been asked before a couple of times, but no worries. Thank you for asking it. It's a pleasure to respond it. So, Stacy Savage, incredible answer as always. Thank you. Love you. Love to you all. Absolutely. Thank you. Let me go to the next question from Bridget Wells. Hi, Bridget. How are you? What's the meaning message if we randomly fall to the ground? That's a great question. What's an interesting question?
That is a great question, Master. And it actually is, it is a representation of energy that's going on in your life, things that make you, things that are falling down in your life, things that are changing and shifting, things that are transforming themselves. So think of it as collapse. Collapse is a really great reference for falling down. And so that means that it would represent things that possibly were collapsing in your world or in your reality.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And then another question from offline from Eilish about ancient relics. Okay, so such as bones of saints, etc., stored in ornate setups by churches. Example, the skull of Mary Magdalene is kept in an elaborate crypt. How does that impact the being whose bones they are, if at all? Are there any energetic benefits or problems from interactions with these by all the people who pilgrim to view them? That's a great question.
It is a great question. So first of all, we will tell you that's not that skull. That's what we will tell you. It's just not. Okay. Having said that, if you are asking us if there is an imprint, energetic imprint on a bone from the soul that inhabited that costume, we would say yes, there truly is. You can have an essence of consciousness. You certainly have spirit energy attached to it. And so, yes, that is a truth. But what you are watching is basically, what do you call that? You call that the mind effect. It's just the mind effect, okay? The plasma effect, right? Placebo effect, thank us. The placebo effect is what you are witnessing with artifacts like that. That's the power of the mind. That's the power of your true consciousness that believes so much in the truth that that item can create some form of a healing energy for you. And so it does. Now, if it was the skull of Mary Magdalene, which Mary Magdalene's a fictitious character, but we don't want to get into that discussion because that'll flip everybody out if we go down that tunnel. But there are healing items out there. There are, okay? But masters, you are source. You are source. You are the ones that create these truths for yourselves. But we're just simply going to answer that question in the sense that that is not her skull. So if it's not, and people are having miraculous healings and miraculous transformational experiences, then how would you explain that? We would say that it's all within the power of themselves, knowing that that is occurring and they are creating that experience for themselves. Now, the good news is this. If it's on a positive, fantastic. But the problem is it still creates separateness from you and your own empowerment. It still is a distraction away from your ability to create everything for your own self. So we think that that, unfortunately, can be a demonstration of an extreme limitation and an extreme demonstration of the separate and singular concept that keeps you fully empowered, keeps you from being fully empowered. So it's not going to make any difference as to what we say because people will sit with their truth on these things. And we allow that, of course, because eventually you will have an awakening and you will come to know that you created everything around you, including the costume that you wear, as the essence of source energy. And you don't need to utilize anything that you created to heal your own self.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So much to learn. Oh my God. All right. So we're going to hide this QR code because it's that time in the show in which we're going to be talking about this upcoming Unified Consciousness 3-part workshop. Okay. And this is it on the website. If you want to access it, you just have to click. Actually, not even click. Just have to, point your camera from your cell phone to this QR code and you will be taken to this website above. Okay. So as I see here, it's a 3-part online workshop on June 18th, 19th, and 21st, 21 at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So what can we share with the audience about this 3-part online unified consciousness workshop, Kasey?
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to be taking everybody into that unified consciousness theory. It is the high consciousness state. And really, people have a very difficult time fully understanding it, using it, referencing it for their conscious growth, referencing it for their healing and for all the abundance in their life. So we've been talking about for a long time, Julius has been talking about the difference between low consciousness and high consciousness state. When you're in low consciousness, you perceive yourself as separate and singular. And when you're in high consciousness, you move into a unified consciousness aspect. You truly see yourself as the all. And this course is going to be all about that. We're going to do a very deep dive into the theory, but also help everybody learn to start applying that truth for themselves. It truly will help be some of the rocket fuel that's going to transport you into an accelerated rate on your conscious journey. It's really also going to help bring a lot of clarity to you as a perceived individual, to see yourself as so much more than you've been able to see yourself as up until now, and also give you the information to strive for that higher perspective, because of course Julius is probably going to cover quite a lot of the benefits of the difference in that frequency state. So come with us and learn so much more about you and what all of that is.
All right. Thank you so much. Everything has been explained. Again, you have the QR code at the top left corner of your screen. And now we're going to put the larger one, which is easier to scan. Just 1 second as we, go back to our normal Windows setup here. Okay, 3-part online workshop, June 18th, 18th, 19th, and 21 at 4 p.m. Eastern. 4 p.m. Pacific time and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, US. Okay, so thank you so much for everybody that is here. Let me go and continue with the questions. By the way, comments from the previous people that asked the questions. Lauren George says, great answer. Thank you, Julius. Makes sense. And then Sony Dean also sending us love. By the way, Charity was saying, sorry, I'm new to the channel. I appreciate the answer. Don't worry. It's really difficult. I mean, even for all of us, or a few of us that have been here, the 66, different episodes, obviously, as you can imagine, 700, 800 questions, it's very difficult that someone, doesn't, even the people that have been on all the shows, it's very difficult to remember all the questions. So no worries at all. We want you to ask as many questions as you want, and we will be very happy to respond them, as many times as necessary. So there's no such thing as we're not going to answer that question because it was already answered. We're just referring to that because it's been a popular question. Anyway, let's continue. All right. So Hilda B says, how long can a physical body function without the soul and just on brain activity? What about the clone?
Mm-hmm. Well, clones are programmed, masters, so they're programmed, and clones do have an expiration date to them, a guaranteed expiration date. They're actually built that way. So clones have an expiration date, and clones normally last anywhere between 5 to 7 years, and they're pretty much done at that point. But if you're asking about the functionality of the physical body without a soul, that's separate. That's different. That's different for everybody. It truly is. It truly is. So it has a lot to do with the strength of the spirit and how the thought collective decides to hold itself together. It can determine based on the health and wellness of the physical costume before the soul extracts itself. Okay. But if you're asking if it can go on for days, we would say no. It's usually within a few hours that occurs.
All right. Thank you so much. Let's go to the next question. I'm really curious. Hold on a second. I'm trying to bookmark the questions that I still have not been answered, just to give everybody a chance to respond. Actually, let's ask this question again. Every single question that's not asked today goes to a list, and then we try to catch up with the list every day, every Thursday. Okay, so let's go to this question from Mama Wales. I think Mama Wales had not asked any question today, so that's Mama Wales' question. Hey everyone, Julius has said we will go to inner Earth. How will we get there?
Yeah.
Question: Where are the entrances to inner Earth?
Yeah, so then there are entrances into inner Earth. They're basically mostly being blocked from you at this time. There will become a time when those entrances will be revealed to you. As you know, of course, Antarctica is one of them. It's one of the biggest teletransportational portals and airports, intergalactic airports, that's part of the Earthship. So all of those things will be revealed to you at some point. But besides that, there are also energetic portals that are already constructed, that are going to be brought out, that are going to be able to teletransport you from different locations on the surface of the Earth, as well as going into the surface of the Earth. They're already created. They're already very real, and they're already very, very ready to go. We could explain this like in the first movie, Doctor Strange, when they created those portals and they could those are real. That's very, very real. That technology is out there. And so no worries. You're just literally going to step into it, Master. And we're hoping that those things are going to be showing up for the mass majority and not just the select few in the very near, what you would perceive to be future.
All right. Thank you so much. By the way, every single show, for the people that have joined the show recently, let me tell you something. Just a few minutes ago, we mentioned about the workshop. We show you the website, which is expandwithjulius.com. But there's so much more at that website, so much more at expandwithjulius.com. Again, expandwithjulius.com. Why am I mentioning it? Because every week we actually have a testimonial from someone in our audience that has been, going through some of the content. And actually this week from Angel Wings Amanda, we have the following comment that we'd like to share. So thank you again, Kasey, for my second Vault session. It was amazing, and thank you for all that you do for this realm. So much love for you, my friend Amanda. Okay, so maybe it would be wise to let the audience know what is a second Vault session.
Yeah, so we offer an energetic session where we remove hidden energetic vaults within your energy field that are holding you back in forms of limitations from both experiences in this life as well as other timelines and other lifetimes. They're blocks, and they're systems of slavery and imprisonment, and we can get in there and extract those vaults for you. So that's an offering on the website for those types of sessions. And she's had 2 of those sessions with us so far. We're having an amazing experience with her. She's amazing. She doesn't give herself enough credit. She's doing the work. We're just blessed enough to be able to be called upon her to assist her on that process. And so it's a form of healing for everybody, but it's also an extraordinary way to remove hidden blind spots that you maybe would never have access to, that help to explain why you hit a ceiling on your conscious journey, or why things seem not to be able to get past a certain point for you. And so it's an incredible experience. You can get the information on the website about the Vault sessions.
Awesome. Thank you for the explanation. Let's continue with the questions. I'm going to ask another question that comes actually offline also from Lady Moore. Lady Moore, the question is, in the event that Jesus was not a historical character, is it possible that today there is a real egregore created by all who have believed and continue to believe in him, projecting him the most benevolent qualities? Thank you so much.
So Master Christ is a state of consciousness that you all are. It is not a person. It is not a person that achieves that. The Cabal wrote the Bible. It is all fictitious, and it is all designed to pull you away from knowing you are source. And so you are a Christ. You are a Christ master. So if you're asking us, is there anybody here? We would say, well, there's 9 billion of you here that are Christs. Okay. It is a level of consciousness. It is a 6th level of consciousness that you will achieve at some point. It may not be in this lifetime, but you will at some point. And they don't want you to have that information because that would empower you to know that whatever has been written about that Yeshua ben Yosef, which is how they described that character in that book, is an extremely limited truth as to all that encompasses being in a 6th level of consciousness. But worse than that, they made it as if there were only one. So we encourage you, Master, for your own extraordinary sovereignty to go beyond what you think you know and get into the essence of extraordinary possible truths of that which you are.
Super duper. Let's go to the next question. Thank you, Julius. Hilda B, do any of the 4th, 5th, or 6th dimensional realms use money or any other system of commodities exchange?
They do. Yes, they do.
All right. Okay, still clear. Okay. All right, so next question. All right. Obviously, Sonny Dean was really paying attention when we talk about Marie Magdalene. So that's Sony's question. He goes, wow, now I am really curious who was Marie Magdalene?
We're going to repeat what we said. It's a fictitious book with fictitious characters. That's what we are going to tell you. Okay. So what you need to reach for, as you reach for with any form of information, Master, is you ask yourself, how does this information empower me? How does this information show me the possibilities of me being source? And how does this information bring me to show compassion and love for everyone? That's what you want to be extracting from any form of written information. That is a wise application on a holographic illusionary realm.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Next question from Greg Nyman Jr. Can you talk about the difference between giving energy to someone in love versus being drained by an energy vampire?
Ooh, yeah, because it's the difference between love and fear, Master. It's the difference between love and fear. When it's love, you will never be depleted. And when it's fear, you will be drained. That is a truth. Sometimes it's the way you can decipher between the two. If you are an energetic being and you are interacting with another energetic being, you are in a constant state of energy exchange. And in that game, it should be rejuvenating, restorative, extraordinary, expansive. It should charge you up. It should charge you up. If anything, you should get jacked up from the experience. If you are interacting with somebody else and you're getting siphoned and drained and tired, then that means that that person has a fear-based energy or a low frequency and they're draining you. And that sometimes is one of the easiest ways to determine where somebody is energetically, is how you feel around them, Once you interact with somebody for about 3 different times and you get a consistent read on that, it should be pretty clear for you. It's not good or bad. It just simply is a truth. When 2 unified consciousness beings of high frequency are interacting with each other, even throwing energy at each other from across the globe, they'll actually charge each other. It's a beautiful unified practice. especially when the energy frequencies are a match in a high frequency state. But otherwise, you get that siphoning, vampire, leeching experience from somebody who doesn't literally have anything to give you. They don't have high frequency to give back. It's a one-way application. We would advise you to pay very close attention and choose your company wisely.
All right, thank you so much. By the way, that wasn't planned, but guess what? When we mentioned the vault, other people that have had the vault with you, Kasey, are also giving their experiences. So Brigitte Wells is saying, love my vault session as well. So much expansion has flowed for me. Thank you, Brigitte, for sharing. Actually, the lady is also sharing. I can also attest to the amazing vault session with this, super duper, icon, emotic icon here. I'm so grateful for Kasey and Julius. Absolutely, you bet. Let me see if I'm not missing anything else. All right, so thank you. Let me make sure I don't miss any of the questions. All right, just 1 second. Yes, both sessions are life-changing. All right, so again, if you need to ask anything to our production team, by the way, the only thing that you have to do is, and I'm going to show here again, send an email to support@expandwithjulius.com. 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 And you will have as much information as you need in order to have one of these life-changing vault sessions as the audience was just sharing with one another. All right, so, oh yes, Sonny's saying, wow, thank you. All right, so I'm leaving here the overlay because also this helps us to make sure that we cover all the different questions that are still pending on the list. The next question on the list, and it's probably going to be the last one, comes from, hold on a second, from Brigitte. Okay, so the question from Brigitte is, does the frequency from the Tibetan healing bowl heal the entire body as we direct it? That's a great question.
Yes, they can, Master. It depends on the hertz range. Just like any type of singing bowl or healing bowl, they carry different qualities and different hertz ranges with them. We love sound therapy. We love sound, especially sound that comes from natural material resources like the metals, like the stones, even the clays and the potteries make beautiful sound baths and beautiful sound bowls. There are even wooden bowls, ancient wooden bowls that give off sound. So it depends on the bowl. The higher quality the bowl, if the bowl is made with 7 different metals, then it has an extraordinary healing range to it. Most of them that you see on the free market aren't quite of that quality. They're a little more mass produced, so you want to be looking at the quality of your bowl. But all sound frequency has a form of a benefit to it. It just depends on the hertz range as to what it is actually working on for you.
Extraordinary. Thank you so much. By the way, before we call it a day, or we call it a show, I wanted to share something. By the way, every single morning, you probably have realized, because we live stream at 8 a.m. on Thursdays Central Time, which is 7 Mountain and 9 Eastern. We are actually conducting something which is pretty unique. Obviously, we are here, and the main goal of the Expansion Network is accelerating the consciousness of humanity. What we are doing, and as you probably know, I used to mention very often also that I have my own business and I have my own brand, and etc. Every single morning on Thursdays at 8 a.m. Central Time, it's in Spanish. I know, it's in Spanish, but we have a show about conscious leadership, okay? And I'm telling you that, probably not everybody in the audience right now speaks Spanish or understands Spanish, but if you know anybody that has a job or has a business, is an entrepreneur or a business owner or an executive, and they understand the Spanish, please go to that show, because what we are sharing is really amazing. We're talking about how to become a conscious leader, how to conduct a conscious business. And we're really talking, it's a very short show. It's only 15 minutes, but it's full of provocative questions, full of provocative questions, because at the end of the day, guess what? Companies, organizations, is just a gathering of many souls that are looking to be happy. And definitely businesses can be a source of a consciousness expansion. What do you think, Julius?
Yeah, conscious commerce, conscious commerce. That's the conversion. That's where everything needs to move to. Conscious commerce. Can you imagine when that's all there is? There would never be an acceptance of anything less. There would never even be an attempt of anything less, because the thriving and expansive and joyous component that is attached and derived from that frequency of awareness is unsurmountable, and it would actually pull people in the direction to thrive and demonstrate their own creativity, their own individualism, their services for humanity, by encouraging everybody to have those demonstrations of conscious commerce. That means that you are looking into the unity consciousness perspective when you're doing any form of service for each other, which is actually a service back onto oneself. Yes, Master, it is the direction of humanity. Yes, thankfully, it is already being demonstrated here on this Earthship. And wouldn't it be spectacular for everybody to support that form of business and tear down that nefarious energy that's been controlling and harming and manipulating humanity for so long? Pay attention, Masters, and we would encourage you to even watch or join collectively, even if you can't understand the language, Masters. Be part of this discussion energetically. Watch the show. Contribute your energy. You'll hear it. You'll feel it. Spanish is one of the easiest languages. All you got to do is watch 3 shows, and you're going to be able to pick up on how that language transfer affects your heart. Show your support, Masters, for all the shifts that you are telling and declaring to us that you are crying out for. It is a truth, Masters, and it is the most extraordinary experience to be here doing thought source energy through the physical demonstration.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for the answer. Exactly. Actually, Amanda is asking if we can put English subtitles. Let's ask this question to our wonderful production team. They're listening to us right now, so we will have a look into that, Amanda, to see if we can at least put like some English subtitles to the shows. Okay, so they're typically in the morning, again 8 a.m. Central Time, every single Thursday, about conscious leadership and organizations. All right, so thank you so much. Again, that was the 66th show. We have right now like 10 questions that we have not been. Thank you very much. So he says yes to the Rock Angel. Thank you so much. We are here all in this together in the same Earth ship. Thank you so much. We have 10 questions that we're gonna bring home. I'll try to make sure before I close everything out here that I'm gonna be copying those questions so we don't lose them. Okay. So thank you, everybody. Let's change to the big screen. So we are all here. Thank you, everybody, for being with us today. We hope that you have not only understood, but enjoyed the answers of all those questions. We really cover a lot of ground every single day. Kasey, amazing, right?
Amazing. Right? There's never a mundane show, is there? Like, we've yet to have a mundane show. Early on, we had shows where we didn't have a lot of participants, and we still had a great conversation, right? And as everybody climbs on, but here's what I've noticed, and Angel, I don't know if you've noticed this too. The questions are getting higher and higher in vibration. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing. So thank you, everybody. Let's keep it going. We're sending our love back to all of you. We look forward to interacting with you again next Thursday.
Absolutely. See you next Thursday. As usual, it's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Mountain. Thank you so much for being with us today. We super enjoyed the conversation. Thank you for being here, for your flexibility, for your patience. We know we have a lot of questions to make sure that we don't miss them, and they will be answered in the next shows. Okay, so we're gonna call it a day. We're gonna be gone in a few seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you. Bye bye. We love you.